Okay. Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising Facebook family. Welcome to day number 578 in the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. I am Coach Sheryl Glenn, and we'll be getting started in just a moment, but I want you to make sure you have your water on hand, a pen and something to write with that's colorful. A paper and something to write with that's colorful, a pencil, pen, whatever you need. And we'll get started very shortly. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Grand Rising, good morning. I hope you're having a color-filled day so far. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, family.
How you doing?
Welcome, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. So nice to see you. Welcome, Teresa. Welcome, Adam. Welcome, Ria. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning, Coach Sheryl Glenn. How's everyone doing this morning?
Great. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Everyone, please make sure you have your water nearby. You have a pen or crayons or markers, something to write with, and a piece of paper or a journal. We're going to get started in just a moment. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, welcome in Zoom family, welcome in Facebook family. Thank you for joining me today. We'll be getting started shortly. I want you to have pen or coloring crayon or colored markers or colored pencils, something colorful to write with, as well as a couple of pieces of paper or your journal. And of course, water as always. Welcome, good morning, Grand Rising. Good to see you, good to be with you. So glad
Peace
you made
and blessings.
Peace, Mama Abimbola. Greetings, Gina D. Greetings, Adam. Teresa, Ria. Welcome, 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 everyone. All right. Come on in, take off your shoes, get comfortable. The water is fine, and it's going to be colorful. Come on in, welcome. Welcome, Marilyn. Welcome, Mama Marie.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you for that. Grand Rising.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning. discerning, discerning. We're striving together, together. We're leading, connecting, transforming together, together.
Grand Rising, everyone. Happy Tuesday morning. And so glad to see you here, have you be with me and everyone in the Wake Up Everybody virtual community for day number 578. It is so amazing that we've been doing this for 578 days, in case you didn't know what that means. So I'm going to jump right in to this session this morning that's about healing and color, right? So first slide, if you will, Coach Kinyofu.
It's me, lovely.
I'm sorry.
But
So
you know,
you Kinyofu equaling slides.
we're all one body, so I'll take it. I'll be Kinyofu today too.
Here
you go.
So this topic is self-care and color healing as part of self-care. So first I want you to just look at this beautiful splat of color on that powerful black background and tell me what comes up for you. What do you feel when you just see that splash of color? And then I want to ask you the questions. What colors do you love? And also what colors do you avoid, right? So just be with that slide for a couple of seconds more. And folks that are just joining us, please have a pen, a crayon, something colorful to write with. A pen will do if that's what you have, but if you have crayons, if you have colored pens, magic markers, that's wonderful. And of course, something to write on. And your first question is, what comes up for you when you see this colors on that powerful black background? And the second question is, what colors do you love and what colors do you avoid?
All right. Things are rolling in a little bit slowly, but it's all good. We're just getting ourselves warmed up this morning. Coach Kinyofu has dropped the questions into the chat. So I'll start us off. Teresa says she loves all colors. Avoid, I wouldn't say that I avoid, well, maybe I do, like neon green. I love green. I love green. I have a lot of green, but neon green, I'm like, nah, let me chill. Or even pink, like anything has been neonified, I try not to go there. To me, that's too much of an extreme, unless it's something playful or whimsical that I'm doing. And I'm like, let me just add this to add some character or to align with a costume party or whatever may be going on that the neon would actually serve me. Colors that I love, because I found out that my, my spiritual guide is connected to the color pink. I started to wear more pink. I have pink on this morning. I love turquoise, teal, anything in that family. And I'll say one more color that I absolutely love. I love yellow and gold. And I'm so grateful. And I guess we'll get into this. When I was younger, I would avoid these bright colors. I would be a brown, black, and beige girl and gray. But now I'm like, yo, bring it, bring it, bring it. And I'm complete.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Coach Shani. And you will definitely get into why you had certain colors you liked as a younger person versus why you have colors that you like now. It is definitely it definitely has a a story to it
Yeah.
always. Thank you.
Mhm.
And anyone else have any comments or shares about what's coming up for you when you see the splash of color, the Black background? What colors do you love and what colors do you avoid?
So I'm not sure what's happening with the writing in this space. I know y'all are present. I'll read what Kinyofu wrote, and then I'll call on a couple of people because I know y'all rock with the colors. Oh, we have Teresa's hand up, so sorry about that. Let me read this piece first from Kinyofu. I gravitate toward yellow and red, less toward brown and black, but it depends on what I am doing. So, Teresa, you ready, beloved? And if you can, come on camera so we can see you. There you go.
Hey, beautiful family.
Grand
When I see that picture, it gives me fire and excitement. Like,
Nice.
ooh. And
Nice.
I love all colors. I used to only like a few colors, but now I'm into colors. Yes, I love me some colors. I don't
Yes.
care what it is, I can make it pop because I just do different stuff with colors. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that you said you can make it pop. That's so key right there, and how color is used, how you use it. And we're going to get more into that. Anyone else have comments about their colors and what they're experiencing with this image?
Peace, this is Sister Abimbola.
Welcome, Sister Avi.
So, yes, thank you. I love purple, and purple symbolizes royalty. I feel a certain type of way when I wear purple. My birthstone is sapphire. I'm sorry, go ahead.
What is that certain type of way that you feel?
I would say serene, if I had a word.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a lot of purple.
Mm-hmm.
And my birthstone is sapphire blue. And I have a tendency to use a lot of blue, wear a lot of blue. And yeah, so that's it. I'm complete. And well, one, just back up. I know when I had my daughter and we had a reading, they told me not to let her wear red.
Mm.
And so I avoided her with red because of the energy that red brings, but I wear red.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. Thank you. Thank you. So you were avoiding red with your daughter, but that you weren't any colors that you avoid, but purple is your top color. That's awesome. Awesome. So we can release the slide right now. And just if there's any one other person that wants to share, or if there's anything else in the chat.
I'll share. This is Rachel. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Rachel, Grand Rising.
Yes, blessed morning. So for me, I gravitate to black for whatever reason that is. I gravitate to black and muted colors. Like if I do a color, I try to avoid colors altogether. But if I do a color, it will be muted, or it'll be like multicolored, kind of, where it still feels like black, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You said multicolored or muted tone or multicolored?
Yeah, or like let's say a jacket with splashes of color, but the base would be black, black or something like that.
Sort of color like peeking out a little bit.
Yeah, like a sneaker with like a pink in it, but not the whole sneaker. That's like too much for me. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. So I love the energy that everyone's given on the colors. And I want to make you present to how color comes into the body. Color comes into the body through our eyes or through our skin. But the eyes don't really see the color because the eyes send the message to the occipital center, the visual center of the brain, and the brain actually creates and tells us what color we're seeing, right? So, and color enters the skin, of course, as it's reflected on you or refracted on you, and that's how, and then that goes again, like I said, to the brain. And that's how you know what color you're actually seeing. So people who are colorblind generally will only see, they will see color, but they won't see the colors accurately, the same, or I should say, the same way that everyone else sees them. So they're not really blind as they see just black and white, but they see colors. They may see orange and think that it's pink. They will, their eyes have it, their rods and cones are such that it will have them seeing colors differently as their brain process it. So that's important to know. And even people who are actually blind, at birth and never had sight, see some form of color. It might be very, maybe very muted, but there is something. They're not just walking around seeing black most times. There's very few people who actually just see dark, just see black. So color is one of the most important and signifying things in our everyday world. Think about what the world would be with no color. Just think about that for a minute. Every morning you get up, you're impacted from the moment you wake up by color. It is the most significant thing that you're experiencing. What would the world be like without color? What does anybody think the world would be like? Anyone want to say what came up, what you feel when I say a world with color?
It would be bland and dark.
Yeah, it would be bland. It would be plain.
It would be Bridget.
What was that? I heard another voice.
I said if the world didn't have any colors, then the world would be rigid.
Rigid. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, the world would be rigid because experiencing color is doing things for us and to us, right? It's having an impact on us. So Kenyofu, if we can go to the second slide and talk a little bit about how we process the colors a little bit more.
Sure. I want to read a couple of things. It's okay, Coach. I got you. I know what you mean. We're all one. So Brian said, or Steel Sharpen Steel said, I love pastel. The brighter, the happier, but I still don't overlook colors like black or dark red. Those are gems in itself. Kinyofu mentioned, she just repeated the question, what would the world be like? And Teresa said dull and sadness. And from Facebook, Teresa said boring and sad. And I'll just add before we move on, Coach, there's a movie and I'm trying to think who, Toby Maguire, I can't remember if that's the correct person, the name, but he was in the movie and it was all about him going into the 50s, I think. And the 50s were in black and white.
I know the movie.
Yeah. And him and his sister were there. And because of the way they were acting, especially the sister was shifting and making the world colorful and people were rejecting color. It was like a metaphor or maybe not a metaphor or a parallel to like racism. People were judging folks for getting rosy cheeks and for them like splashes of color in their clothes. And there became like a rebellion and people were attacking folks that had color. The other thing that I think about if this world had no color is that we would be dying slowly because we need flowers and like the color spectrum is needed for life to be generated, for air to be produced. If the trees didn't have greenery, if we didn't have that chlorophyll and just other things that are needed, we would cease to exist as a human. Yeah, Pleasantville is the name of the movie. Thank you, Kinyofu. So we would cease to exist as a species because we need color for this life and navigation. And I'm complete.
Absolutely. Thank you. Again, the color is a most significant part of our daily lives. We're impacted by it all day. It's a very important tool in expressing yourself to the world and is used in the world as a powerful tool. And color can be used to signal action, to influence moods, to change and influence psychological responses, as well as to elicit subconscious feelings and thoughts and things and memories. Okay, so color has a lot of ways in which it's used. And how, again, color comes into our bodies through our skin and our eyes and see with our brains. And the second slide, if you will, Coach Johnny.
Sure, no problem.
It's
Hold
the
on.
visible light spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And how color is put upon us, or how we experience color, is through this visible light spectrum. Color has different wavelengths and different frequencies as well. And this is what's visible to the human eye, the range of colors from red through violet, right? And so the colors, as I said, they enter our body through our skin and our eyes. We see it with our brains, and they each having a different wavelength and frequency. And the light is what determines what we're seeing. The light and how it's refracting the frequency, how it's reflecting that frequency. So yeah, each color has a different effect on us as well. And each color can be used for different purposes. As you'll see, to the left, the orange, the yellow, the red, those are warm colors, and they stimulate and motivate. And then as we go and as we go to the right, you'll see the blue, the purple, those are more cool colors. They calm and soothe, right? And so color is actually something that is used also in therapy. And we can go to the next slide, if you will. So here I gave you the meaning of a lot of the colors, right? And there is what you saw on the wavelength is what we call Roy G. Biv. It's like someone's name, right? ROYG and BIV. And that represents, that's how I learned it in back in elementary school, art. And that represents all the colors on the visual spectrum that we see, that we humans see, right? And so it stands for R being red, O being orange, Y being yellow, G being green, B being blue, I being indigo, and V being violet, right? So those are the colors on the visible light spectrum that we receive into us. But there are also other variations of those colors, as you know, as was mentioned, neons and pastels and shimmeries. When I say shimmeries, I mean like gold and like silver and platinum, these different forms, but they're all based in these same colors on the color wheel, a variation of them in the visible light spectrum. What I find to be interesting, and actually we can release this slide for a moment, but what I find to be interesting is that animals see color differently. And birds, on the visible light spectrum is expanded for some of them and it's limited for others. But birds, they see like far infrared. Think about an owl who can see at night. And, that is just amazing. They have night vision naturally, right? They don't need the night vision goggles, and they can see colors. And then there's another animal, I can't think of which animal that is, that doesn't see as well as the colors as we do. Like, actually, I think it's cats too. Cats have a different take on how they see color. So you would think that, your animals are seeing exactly as you are, but they're not. Color and having a different experience because the wavelength is greater for some of them and it's less for some of them, right? So bees, they use ultraviolet light, and it's flowers emit that, and that's how they see ultraviolet light. And so they are amazing how they know which flower to look at or to go and to get their nourishment from. It has to do with the light that the flower is emitting and that they actually see with their eyes. So it's interesting. You wouldn't see a bee. You very rarely see bees at night, right? Yeah, that's why, because there's no flowers. But if you do see them, they're on what? Somebody wearing yellow, because that yellow is being emitted that color the same way that a flower is being emitted. And so it's picking that up. But otherwise they would not see you if you wore like a black or a darker color. So it's really interesting. I saw something in the chat. Gina, did you want to say something?
Oh no, I was just saying, I think dogs are colorblind too. Like, a lot of animals have different ways they see things and sense things.
Yeah, they have a different visible range, and it's either from the far infrared, like I said, or to the or to the where they can't see, or ultraviolet light. So it's like in the spectrum in between. So dogs and cats may be somewhere in between, where the colors that they see are either inaccurate or non-existent. I don't think they see in black and white, but I think they just see different. So yeah, it says most animals can see ultraviolet that can't see infrared, and those that can see infrared can't see ultraviolet. So somewhere on the spectrum is how they're seeing colors, and it's different than us. And that to me is just amazing, how the creator just created all these amazing differences for us. So they're being impacted by color, but they're also being impacted in a different way because they're seeing color differently. So I think that's part where the neons come in. Your dog might see neon when you are wearing a color, orange or green or something like that. And that might be what he needs to see. Okay, so we can go back to that same last slide, and we can talk a little bit about the colors and what they signify.
Okay, 1 second.
While you bring it up, I'm wearing red. And my story about red is growing up as a child, as a very young child, red was my favorite color. And I believe when I told people that red was my favorite color, the response was not very favorable. It was like, red? And, as a child, you're very receptive to everything. So over time, it became blue. And it was like sky blue. And throughout most of my life, my two top favorite colors were sky blue and cobalt blue, which are the varying ends of blue. So it's a darker blue and it's a sky, literally like the sky blue. And I think that's a change from loving red. And what I've learned as an adult, I like red, but I don't love red, because when I wear red out in the public, I get such an intense response, especially from male energy. It's overwhelming. I have stopped traffic by just wearing a red dress and red shoes to work. And I'm like, this is not my intention. I've gotten people blowing horns and just really, and it was, not in my thoughts. I just wanted to wear a bright color to give me energy. I think about how I feel when I wear the colors, and that's how I wear my colors. So you might want to consider what your color was when you were young, as well as what your color is now. What I've learned as I've delved deeper into colors is that red has to do with, as you see, action, strength, energy, passion. And if you're looking at dealing with the energy centers or the energy wheels that it comes in, or the chakras, as we call them, it has to do with your root. It has to do with your childhood. It has to do with how you grew up and all of that. So red has a lot of power and strength, and has to do with sexuality and so forth, right? And the negative or the lower vibration would be anger, danger, revenge, and aggression. You think about in nature, there is a snake that is red, that is so bright red, that and is very, very poisonous and dangerous. Nature uses color in a very powerful way to give us clear signals and messages, right? So then orange represents emotion, youth, optimism, enthusiasm, and the high vibration effects are it encourages, uplifts, stimulates, and communicates. And negative is exhibitionism, like you can be like just bold and being out there, and superficial, impatient, and domination. So yeah, those are some of the negatives about, or some low vibrations that the colors represent, according to this chart. I don't know that I fully agree with it, but I wanted to not recreate the wheel, so I went with it. I think it's pretty, and I think you can get something from it. So for me, orange. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Coach. You have a hand up, I think, in reference to what you just shared, but we'll see Marilyn Perez if you're ready. And definitely, thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, oh. So I agree with this chart, but I wanted to say how I find it interesting, because I work in a preschool. I'm a preschool teacher, and it's interesting how adults see color and how children perceive color. And the reason why I say perceive color is because at the age group that I'm teaching, they're just learning the names of the colors. And for them, they use color to learn. They use colors to kind of figure out the world. To them, like when we talk about feelings, they use red as something like angry, whereas versus yellow, to them is like a happy color. Blue is like a sad color, makes them, feel like they want to cry. And that's what they picture when they see certain colors. The same way as sometimes, and it also depends on like the topics that we're doing. Red for them means stop, danger. Where green is go, it's okay, you're safe. Yellow, beware. So it's fascinating to me how children, as they're learning about the colors, there's different ways that they use it, and not as normally as like the adult use it. And I guess it's like just the lens and just how they're so open-minded and not kind of, I don't want to say like how adults, we're already set in our ways. There's no fantasy no more. It's just like we have to be realistic, and everything is 100, keeping it 100. The kids, they just whimsical. They go with the flow, and then the colors is just the same way.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that in. That's absolutely one I want us to be present to, is that we from birth know what colors resonate with us. We from birth know what in a powerful way, what colors mean to us. Those definitions that you gave about how children see and feel colors are very, very much mentioned on the chart that I shared. They're not the primary, but they're in there. They're definitely is part of the definition. So how you see and feel and experience color as a child has an impact. So going back to my own childhood, as I realized through studying color so much as an adult and in my teenage years, I learned that I believed that red was my favorite color because I was needing to scream out and say that I was molested as a young child. And I didn't have words for that or know that that's what I needed to say because I buried it. But I liked red, and red was bold, and maybe it was also anger, and it was also a scream. But when people didn't, well, I'm actually processing it as I'm telling you, because that's not what I had in mind to share. But when people didn't respond well to me having red as my favorite color, I then never told my story about what happened to me until I was in my 20s. I literally buried it down and sucked it up, and I changed my favorite color to blue, which again is another way of it coming out, the message coming out, but it's not anger, but it's expression. So throughout my whole upbringing, my whole life, my whole adult life, up until maybe in the last 10 years, my favorite color was blue, as I said. And that's your throat chakra, that's your communication, that's your, also, as you said, that's a part of sadness. That's sadness. You feel, what do we say? I'm feeling the blues, right? I'm feeling blue. So yeah, when you think about colors and how they impacted you from your childhood and how they're impacting you now, there is a message that your subconscious is sending to you and sending to those who you're wearing the colors or telling that you like the color. So yeah.
All right, Coach. Beautiful. So Veronica's hand is up. Veronica, if you're ready.
Yes, greetings all. Good morning.
Good morning, my red
love-
wearing sister.
I love red. And the reason that I love red is because I'm a child of the 50s. And most of the clothing that they bought us was red and plaid. And so my mother, all my Easter Sunday pictures, I'm in red. I'm either in red and white or all red, lace stockings. You know, that was what she told me I loved.
Oh.
That was what she loved.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I didn't have a choice, I remember the pictures. I'm 6 years old, 5 years old. I didn't have a choice about going. I remember the store, Mr. Stark's on Picken Avenue, right? And she picked out all the red and white. She never picked out pink or blue or anything but red.
Wow.
So that's number one. Number two, when I read your chart, I have a bright orange tent that I used to vend. And when I used to vend and rent a tent, the tent would be white, right? So everybody in the place had a white tent. And when I came out with my orange tent, one day I sold $1,000.
Woo!
Because the negative, which was at the bottom of your chart, which taught about the energetic and all of those things, those were the things that attracted people to the orange. It came to the orange, it gave their whole aura an orange hue.
Wow.
Because when the sun is shining on an orange tent and you go under the tent, it's like you're in some other space.
Yes.
So but the negatives were a positive for my selling.
Okay.
I love this chart. And so thank you very much. And I'm complete.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that you will use color therapy in your sales tent. I love that. And you will give everybody that orange hue, making them feel warm and comfortable and, inspired, sensual, and ready to part with that cash. That's
thank you.
I hear a voice. I hear another voice.
Okay.
Okay, so that is something to be present to as well, that in advertising, in television, in sales and marketing, colors are being used on you. Colors are being used to inspire you, promote you, provoke you, okay? So be aware of that, and I'll show you more colors on the chart. I'll show you the whole chart, and you can screenshot it and take note of it. Yeah.
So Coach, we have Rachel who wants to make a comment or has a question. So Rachel, you lowered your hand. You still want to share?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So what comes up for me is wearing black, right? Which is huge. It's something I cannot, and I try my best to get away from. However, when I wear certain colors, I see certain things that maybe the rest of the world won't see, but I see. Right. And so I think in the insecurity of like me being top heavy or looking a certain way or having certain scars or certain tattoos or in like you see them more. So it's in my head that I believe people are viewing me possibly from like they're going to see me for who I was versus who I am today, if that makes sense. So a lot of it for me is the insecurity about being in a color. When I put in the color, I'm like, oh, this isn't me. This isn't me. I'm black. You know what I mean? I'm black. That's what I am. Like I feel most confident in black, and I'm complete.
Thank you. Thank you. What was your favorite color as a child?
I do have a favorite color now, which is purple, but it has to be like a deep purple or a deep blue. Right. I have blue also, but I don't know. I don't know. As a child, I have no idea.
You should ask your subconscious mind one day right before going to sleep, and you might dream about it. And when you wake up, ask again, and it might come to you. because that's definitely something that there's something there. And the whole thing about you using black to hide is actually so appropriate. However, it's something that you have, as you accept yourself and who you are and stand in your power of who you are and be unapologetic about your past, your present, and your future, you will blossom into wearing colors. Even if it is just a little color on your sleeve, just a little color, and then open that up and see how that feels. Try wearing color in the house when you know you're not going out and you know you're not really necessarily going to see anybody that you're concerned about how they think about you. Wear that color and see what that does for you. See what that energy does for you. See how you feel. I think about red. When I wear red, I could be tired, sleepy, sluggish, but when I put red on, all of that is gone. It's just like, yes, let's get it done. Let's do it. What are we doing? Get out there, punch them out. I feel like Rocky, like, I don't remember the music, but somebody can give me that soundtrack. But I feel like Rocky, just like, yeah, ready. I'm ready. I'm red. So that's how I feel with red. And that's the energizing energy that it gives me. Think about how you feel. You might want to one day start with like maybe a lighter blue and maybe a lavender instead of the purple, dark purple, and just kind of like play with it. And wear it just like wear the shirt, but you could keep the black on the bottom to keep you grounded and balanced, right? Just so you don't fly away, and just start small. And then, another way to wear color is grab a scarf with a pop of color and wear that with your black. And then let the scarf be like, first start out with it here and then like let it begin to be a scarf that drapes over one shoulder. So, you can sort of gradually bring it in. But I think also as you continue to work on yourself, because I know you are doing that work, that you will blossom into, wearing colors. And you will feel how the colors allow you to feel and how color also impacts others as you're wearing it. Because we're not just wearing the color and we're feeling what we're feeling. It's also impacting others. Like I said, that red, I'm feeling good and fired up and energized, but other people are like, they're like really, they're feeling like sexual energy. And that's not what my intention is. They're feeling like attack, like I'm like the red flag before the bull, so so I know if I wear red like I'm wearing now, I have to wear it with other colors to balance it and something darker to ground me, and also know that I be mindful of how people may come to me and be ready to put, no, this is a stop sign red for you. This is an empowerment red for me, but for you, this is a stop sign. Don't. So yeah, you will play with your colors and then know how they impact you as well as how they impact others. And start slow. Yes.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So let me check in because I think Zahura had her hand up earlier. I mean, not her hand up. She came off mute. So I don't know if that was an accident or on purpose. But if it was something you wanted to say, please do share. And let's hear some other voices too, Coach, unless you want to move on with the slides.
That's fine. I would love to hear from Facebook if there's anyone speaking on Facebook.
Yeah, Yofu would have dropped that in for show, but definitely Facebookers. My sister said something on Facebook. Hold on one second. She went from Zoom to Facebook. She in both worlds. She's all colorful and stuff. So Joy said, I love all colors, have no favorite color. My sister definitely uses a lot of color. And I will also say, because she does an event planning and designing materials for events, she's an artist. I am a mother, her, my family, full of them in different ways. So colors are definitely something that live in her and ooze out of her. Terry said, I'm thinking about the favorite outfit I had as a teenager, and it was filled with yellow. Hope and possibilities were all around me. And Coach, I wanted to acknowledge like all of those beautiful suggestions you gave to Rachel. I love it. I'm like, you a stylist too, Coach Sheryl? You a stylist? Kaisha said, I heard red is powerful. It suggests to wear red for job interviews. I wear red lipstick. Abimbola, this is great because I'm getting ready to have an orange accent wall painted in my bedroom. Coolie, coolie. Yes, and let me see. Something just dropped in. Terry said, I was thinking about she said that already. I mean, I said that already. E. Bradshaw says, blue was my favorite as a child. Everything was blue, moody blue. As an adult, Kelly Green is my favorite. Cracks me up like all the different names.
Yes, nice, beautiful. And you'll pay attention to the energies that those colors are known to invoke and to support and what they do. And, like I said, I went from red being the root chakra, being the energy of family and grounding and having things to do with your past, to blue, which is about communication and speaking up and standing in your personal power. And once I finally did get in touch with the fact that I was molested and I did tell my story and to the point where I wrote poetry and started going to open mics and speaking it and saying it and telling it and telling it and telling it and tell it to anybody that would listen, then my color, I love blue, mind you, but my favorite color shifted. And it's lavender. It's lavender. So be mindful of what's happening inside of you and in your world as your favorite colors that you're attracted to or repelled by, or that you don't like or avoid, because we really not mostly, very few people are repelled by a color, right? But if there is a color that you're repulsed by or you hate, then that's a color you need in your world, even if it's your shoes or your bag or a crystal, something that you carry. The colors that we're most attracted to, we need are telling us a message, as well as the colors that we are repelled by. So heed the message and use the color and work with the color to bring about that healing that you are needing. Okay, Kinyofu says she doesn't like pink. I saw that. Yeah, so pink. Yeah, let's look at what pink brings, what energy pink brings. Let's go back to the color chart, the first page of it. And let's talk about that. Pink will be on the second page, but I just want everybody to screenshot all the colors and note that blue is the most worldwide. When surveys were taken about the people's colors and reaction to color, blue is the worldwide #1 favorite color. Why? Because when you look up, what do you see? Blue sky. When you look in the water, what do you see? Blue is security, trust, loyalty, responsibility, promotes calm, relaxes, and supports. And though it's a cool color, and it's confidence, peace, and honesty and reliability, and it just cools you down. It cools you down, but it also can cool you all the way down to where you're depressed. I mean, it can also represent that, depressed and passive and conservative. The blue light on your phone at night is not what you want. You want to have all your devices, switch them to like a night color coming off of them, because when you're going to sleep and the blue light that's coming off of your devices can impact your circadian rhythm, which has to do with how your body is naturally waking and sleeping and eating and all of the different things, it's cleansing and processing inside your body. So you want to shift to a night focus, and that would normally bring out something that's more yellows and softer oranges for your eyes, and giving off that light that won't harm you. Okay, so it also affects your vision, right? So purple is a whole world. I love purple. I love this kind of shade of purple. I love lavender. Lavender is the one that really speaks to my heart. It represents spirituality and royalty. Does anybody know why purple is associated with royalty? If you know, place that in the chat. I'm going to come back to that. Okay. And if you don't know, I'm going to give you the answer. Why is purple associated with royalty? Okay.
I will jump in and total guess, and it's based on something I saw yesterday. But Adam had his hand up. So after we share, is it okay to go to him and then go back to us? All right,
Absolutely.
wonderful. I don't know if you changed your mind, Adam, but definitely want to make sure that we acknowledge you. So last
Actually,
night,
I'm putting it in the chat. I was gonna, share what color that I avoided the most.
Okay. Yeah, please tell.
The color that I avoided the most was pink because of the society's perspective when it comes to men wearing pink. For instance, if I was, wear like a pink shirt or whatever, some dudes or even some women would give me the triple take and start questioning my masculinity, which was
Right.
completely very ignorant to me.
Absolutely ignorant. Absolutely ignorant. The world has it twisted. Pink is actually a male energy color, and blue, a male energy color. If you look at what they represent, so we can go to the next slide and see what is represented by pink, what pink invokes and what it brings up. We see
right.
blue, right?
Yeah, hold on, Coach, 1 sec. I'm sorry. I want to say something about the purple before we move, and others may have something to say about it too, since you posed the question about like why that is associated with royalty. So last night I was watching a show. I love period pieces, meaning shows that are or movies that are about the past. So in this show, which is a period piece, everybody in the room, there was a family having a conversation. There was about 8 of them, and everybody had on purple, plum. And I was like, why are they all wearing this color? And then I thought for a moment, I'm like, maybe people with means, money, had access to certain types of dyes. And so I connected it to access to the color being associated with folks with means, that you can travel to certain places where purple or dyes that create purple exist. Because I'm like, what is this? That whole conversation about indigo too, a couple of months ago also made me think about it. It's like access to color, dyes, like it may have been exclusive for certain groups, and then declared that this is a sign of importance, money, and a higher level on the societal totem pole. And I'm complete.
Ashe. If there's any more answers, I will give my response to that. If there's any more answers on the purple.
For me, this is Veronica.
Mhm.
Having spent so much time in the Caribbean, purple was like a death color.
Mm.
So a lot of people were buried in purple or lavender, and people that went to funerals, they either wore black, white, or purple.
Wow.
So that's where I saw that color. And one last thing that I will share about purple is that my husband hated purple because he said it was associated with funeral homes.
Mm.
And so after he passed, I looked around my house and I had nothing purple. I have no clothes that are purple. I have nothing that's purple because he didn't like purple.
Wow.
And so now I'm learning to embrace purple because it's such a beautiful color. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you. You bring to mind the funerary reality with purple, and I remember seeing. Yes, that it's translated here too, in that purple and black together. I've seen a lot of ribbons when people pass that people will put on their door, or a wreath that has purple and black representing someone having passed. So I guess that tradition is still in existence, but it's usually like a deep, dark purple. It's not like this color you see here or a lavender. So very powerful. Thank you so much. I actually hadn't remembered that purple is often used in that way. And it's still representing spirituality because we're transitioning, right? We're transitioning from, this life where we're in the flesh into the non-flesh realm. So that's a spiritual reality. So it's still in there representing, and maybe that's the way it became associated with spirituality. I hadn't looked that part up. Thank you for bringing that, Sister Veronica. I appreciate that. Any more comments about purple?
Let's just see. Yeah, folks are talking about purple. Purple means kings and queens. That's from Joyce. Let's see what else was said. And she said that's why she greets Wu with purple hearts. Thank you, sister. Anna, at one time only royalty was allowed to wear purple. Aaliyah said the servicemen put on bunt over their door when passing. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so you would have to come off mute, Aaliyah, and correct me. I don't want to be putting the wrong word.
I think it's called bunts. My mother
Bunts.
forgives me if I'm pronouncing it, writing it wrong.
We won't tell her. We won't tell her.
Yes, rest in peace. But what Sister Veronica brought up, it came to mind, like when the officers, Mora and Rivera, when they were murdered, their precinct put that black and deep purple bunt over their door. And that was the first time I ever saw that. So yes, I believe that it is associated. But purple has many, as Sister Belinda said, we're transitioning, right? So I don't think it's a bad thing.
Right. It's absolutely a powerful color to represent that. And yeah, purple used in death because we're transitioning to the higher realm, that we're no longer in the earthly realm. So it still represents spirituality. So very, very powerful. Thank you for also bringing that. So Shawnee, you kind of hit it on the head with purple. And whoever else said royalty, purple was only allowed to be used for royalty. Yes, the reason that purple was only allowed to be used for royalty was because the way purple was created to wear as a fabric has a kind of a dark history. Back in the Phoenician times, purple, it was discovered that a sea snail called the spiny murex. You've seen the shell that looks kind of like a conch shell, like the one that they put up to their ear or that people blow and it creates a sound. You've seen that shell, but how about, have you seen the one that is smaller, but it also has like all these spiky points coming out of it? That's the seashell of a spiny murex, and it's a sea snail. And so the sea snail would be, they've discovered, I don't know how, that if you squeeze the anal glands of that seashell, of that snail, and it will turn a shade of purple. They actually called it Tyrian purple. And it was done in the town of Tyre in the Phoenician, in Phoenicia, in ancient Mediterranean times, right? And so they created this color, and it's a variation from like a violet, like a cranberry-ish, all the way through to purple by using that. But it took something like 250,000 snails to die and to get their anus squoze and the juices put into a vat and let it sit in the sun for different weeks. And they also had to add urine to make it, and some wood ash to make it deepen the color and hold the color, right? And it took that many snails to make about a tablespoon of color dye. So it's a dark history. Maybe that's why it has something to do with death as well, because there was a lot of snails that was sacrificed in the early days to create purple for royalty. And guess what? Royalty was allowed to wear purple because they could afford it. They could afford what it took to create the dye to make the purple. And I'm going to share real quick right here. Okay, I took away my sharing capacities in the meeting, but I had a picture of what's called Tyrian purple. Excuse me, my colors are falling down, but I'm bringing them back. I had a picture of the Tyrian purple, and it's kind of like a magenta blend with violets, kind of like, it's a softy, it's a really pretty purple color. And okay, Sean, to share, so I should have made it a slide, but yeah, this is Tyrian purple. And that's like the jacket of a royalty. That's two shades, one inside of the gold as well as one that's the jacket. And that's the color that it created with those snails. Of course, the jacket is fire. I know, it's gorgeous. I'm like, where do I sign up? But yeah, that's the color of Tyrian purple that came out of the snails, and different variations based upon how long They cured it in the wood, the urine and the wood ash and the deepness of the sun. At the certain hours of the sunlight, it would come out different color, and a certain hour of a later sunlight or early sunlight, it's bananas. It's actually bananas that they went through all of that to create this color. And so then it had to be associated with the richest people in the land. And of course, that was the royalty. And actually, the priesthood and the ministry, the spiritual people would wear purple as well. And when you think about in ancient times, before that as well, Queen Cleopatra of ancient Kemet wore purple a lot. And she also had purple furniture, and she had painted the walls in her temple and in her home purple. So she was extremely extravagant. Not only did she sacrifice many goats, I think it was goats for her bath to get that milk, but she also sacrificed a lot of snails to get that purple. So yeah, that's the dark history of purple, even though it is my favorite color currently. So that is nice to know that, that why it could possibly be associated with spirituality and with death has something to do with something that died to make it be so. So I thought it was very interesting, the part about how it came into being and the actual color. It's called Tyrian purple, Tryian. If those who are Game of Thrones fans, it's like Tyrion Lannister. It's the same Tyrion. So think about that. That's the same name that the color is called. Yeah. So I just thought that was an interesting, powerful, and empowering tidbit about the color purple. And to me, it has the most storied, the most deep story about how purple became into our world. So let's go back to, if there's no more comments, if there's no
Before you go, Coach, just acknowledge the transition is 8:01, if you would.
Yes. Thank you so much for being with us today at day number 578, being with me, Coach Sheryl Glenn. And if you would like to hear the rest of this presentation, if those of you who have to leave now, please come back and catch the replay in Facebook. And also you can reach out to me and I can send you more information, the color chart. There's going to be another chart that comes up that's about eating your colors. I can send you that information if you email me. Email me within the next week or two. And my contact information has just been dropped into the chat. And I look forward to the next presentation with you. And thank you again for joining us. Have a wonderful and colorful day. So here are some more colors. The first 7 colors are the Roy G. Biv that I told you about. But then I wanted to add in colors that are sort of variations, but that colors that we wear and that we deal with a lot, such as gray. And I know I put black on that chart. Black was on the, okay, it must, okay.
It was on the other one.
Okay, I thought so. I'm like, I know I put white and black because there's a whole play of reality about white and black as well. Like we're called black people, and white people that are not black are called white people. But none of us looks like that white color, and none of us, very, very few of us look like that black, right? So if you use that color, if you use the term to empower yourself, thinking about what black does, then you understand why the creator allowed you to be called that. No, not those that decided to call it to you and has negative connotations, but what it actually does and what it actually imbues and invokes in the space when that color is mentioned. Okay. And so, yeah, I wanted to just bring that about. And white people who are not black are more pink, and people who are black are anywhere on the spectrum from indigo, blue, black, all the way the other way to sort of like a beigey brown. And yeah, so, and people who are not white that are calling themselves white are more like pink, and some lean more towards a brownish or an olivey color. So yeah, this whole color thing that everybody has us locked into in our minds, release that and choose to identify yourself as who you are based upon your culture, your history, and who you come from, because we are not Black unless Black empowers you. And if you want to call yourself Black, which I don't mind being called Black, because Black is a powerful color. Black is a color of strength, prestige, and authority. Black is a beautiful color. Black is beautiful. I just want to say that. So we can go on to the next one. And gray. Gray is a color that I like because I like silver a lot. And silver is primarily gray, as gold is a variation of yellow. So I really enjoy silver, and it does do that. It's feminine energy, stabilizes, calms, relaxes, and soothes. But at the same time, I'm always wearing colors with gray. I will not wear just a gray from head to toe, never. I always want to use it as a grounding tool. Same with brown. If I'm wearing brown, if there's a color that I personally avoid, it's brown. It's too close to me, to my skin complexion. Yeah, I may have one or two things brown in my wardrobe, maybe like a brown sweater or like a brown scarf or something. It's very close to my skin complexion and sort of makes me feel like I'm blending into the walls. Whereas if I wear color, I feel like I'm alive, I'm here, you see me, you feel me, I'm expressing myself. And I want everybody to get in touch with how they feel around colors. And so as Adam was saying, pink, when you wear pink and the association that they've had with males with pink, they've got it twisted in this culture because they have it as femininity, where it's really a masculine energy because it's a derivative of red. And red is strong power, masculine energy. But when you wear certain shades of pink, like a light pink, it does invoke a playfulness. And there's nothing wrong with being playful as a man or as a woman. Romance, warmth, nurturing, comforting, all of these, right? But don't use these colors in the negative way. So check and see if you are using these colors to hide and to invoke the lower vibration aspect of them. So that's why I'm glad that this chart had both, okay? And then of course, another shade of blue is that turquoise, that ocean blue, that beautiful blue that makes you feel like you're in the Caribbean or someplace tropical and beautiful. That blue is amazing and has so much that it gives as well. So I just wanted you to be present to the color chart and understand what these colors are doing and how they're being used, as well as how you can use them for your own healing and your own support. Don't be afraid of color. It's just a color. It's just an expression. Okay. And we can go on to the next slide, if you will. So using colors with intention, and the way to do that is in your food by eating color. I mean, how many of you actually eat a lot of colors? Or is your food always like brown and brown and gray? And if that's what you're eating, or white, is all your food white? Like, eat with intention, have a variety of a palette of colors for your balance and for the healing inside your body. Different foods create different responses with the colors as well. Different natural antioxidants that they have, different phytochemicals that they're giving off. Your veggies, as well as your fruits, as well as your meats. Like salmon is like an orangey pink. I eat a lot of salmon, right? And so I'm nurturing myself as well as giving myself a lot of nutrients. But I also like to eat fish that's white. I also like to eat fish that's more brown. And, I'll also eat something that's, I won't say that I eat Black food per se that I know of, but blackberries, right? Blackberries would be it, but that's more like a kind of a blue. So anyway, in your food and in your clothing, also in your creating. Thank you, wild rice. That's right, black rice. That's true. Black rice is really good. And in your clothing and in your creating, in your play, how are you playing with colors? Because I don't know about you, but when I see a box of crayons or a new set of paint, it just makes me feel like there's endless possibilities. When I have a white piece of paper and a box of crayons, I could just sit there and look at that. Just looking at that is just is just healing. It's just creating within me the range of possibilities of what there could be created in the world and what I could create in myself in it, or what I could express. With color, ladies and gentlemen. And I say gentlemen because men tend to stick with one or two colors too. They're all black, and that's it. I love my son because since he was a young kid, people would tease him about wearing pink skinny jeans, and he was like, "This is what I want to wear." And I should have known that because he'll kill me for telling this story. When my daughter and him used to play dress up when they were very, very small. He was about 4, 3, maybe 5, between those ages. And they would play dress up. They had this box where they would just pull out whatever they wanted, colors, scarves, shimmery stuff. One day, my son comes out in one of my daughter's old dresses, and it's all white. And he has a gray scarf around his head and some pants underneath the bottom. And my father sees him, and my father is a macho man, right? So he says, "Boy, what you doing with that dress on?" And my son says, "It's a boy's dress." He'll kill me for telling that story, but I never forget that. He just owned it. He didn't even blink or think, and there was no doubt about it. It's like, it's a boy's dress. It's okay. This is what I'm going to wear. And he's not LGBTQIA or anything like that, but he was just empowered by his own decision about what he felt was appropriate for him. And he still is. So him being a person who now he's like Mr. Grunge. He wears all kind of colors, but he wears crazy hair with it, or earrings, or safety pins in his nose as a nose ring. He's just bananas. But that was who he was as a young person. And so there's a connection to how you express yourself with colors and with your fashion and all of that. So just take a look and screenshot this list and know that these are some ways to support you in color with intention. You may not know oils have color that they come in, like the plants that they were made from. They also have different colors, so they support you in that as well. I'm sorry, Sean.
It's okay. No, I'll cut you off. Aaliyah, I saw your hand up for a while. Just want to acknowledge you was waiting for a break. So you still want to speak?
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you, Shawnee, and thank you for mentioning the pink. I just wanted to jump on that really, really quickly. Thank you for giving us the education about pink being associated with masculinity. It's a true masculine color, because when I was much younger, anytime I would see a man in pink, I would just be like in such awe, and I would push it down, right? Because I was like, wow, he looks so beautiful. And I mean, like, from white men to black men, I felt like they radiated when they had on pink, whether it was a pink polo shirt, a pink tie. I always thought it just brought them out, but I would push it down like, okay, something weird about me, because I think that a man looks great in pink. And then for you to bring that knowledge out, I'm like, wow. And even about your son. And a couple of years ago, I was blessed enough to go to Fiji. And the men, we talking about like rock, like Dwayne Johnson, these men, they would walk around with like pink flowers in their hair. They would walk around with like the wrappers, which we would say in America are skirts. So when your son said, hey, it's a boy's dress, most of the men around the world do wear something similar to like a skirt or a dress. So I just wanted to bring that up, and thank you again for bringing that knowledge, because sometimes we push things down, even though our spirit is telling us it's okay, it's beautiful. So I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that, because I felt the same way, especially when they were wearing them Azad polo shirts and it was pink. It was just amazing. It was just sexy. And to me, perhaps what we were getting was the confidence that it took for a man in a world where the world thinks a man wearing a pink thing is too feminine, but a man being confident enough to say, I'm not feminine, I'm masculine, and I'm gonna wear this pink and I'm gonna rock it, and that's what it is. So, and I just really want everyone to be empowered in that way when they wear colors. Even when you're stepping out in a color that you're not sure about, own it, rock it, wear it, because how you feel about it is what people are going to receive. you are actually refracting and sending that energy out through that color. You are coming through that color, not just the color coming at them, but your vibration, your frequency, your wavelength is coming at them in their eyes, in their chakras, in their aura, everything. Your aura even has a color. Everyone, there are ways to get tested. Go into these little holistic and natural shops where you can get tested to see what color your aura is. And that will also give you more clue as to what you need work on, what you need healing in for yourself, especially around color. Color baths is one of my favorite tools to do. Just get in the tub and put in the flowers that are the color that you're seeking, put in the oils, the salts, everything, and then have a candle that color, and then just be with that color and just soak and be empowered and energized or calmed and soothed by that color. So let's read the chat. Let's talk more about what folks are saying. And if we have time, I may need maybe an extra 10 minutes for a little bit of an activity towards the end. So yes, let's jump in.
Ashe, and I see Kaisha jumped on Zoom. She must have something to say about these colors. She came from Facebook over to here. So Rachel said, I love veggies, fruits. Kenyofu mentioned wild rice when we were talking about color and food, black rice, Aaliyah, chia seeds, red, green pepper, and seasonings. I love beets. Shout out to beets. Shout out to beets. I love beets. And avocado, I like the blend. Avocado, beets, black beans, like all of it in a salad is just so divine. Red, green pepper, and seasonings, black beans again. I play with colors when I wear earrings. I also have a lot of color in my wardrobe, shirts, skirts, pants, shoes. I also love bold colors. When I write, I will make my words bolder by writing over and over, like the letters, like darkening them. It's just something I've been doing since I was a kid. And I have over 100 markers. I said over 100. It's probably 150 markers in my house. And I'm so mad when they get dried up. I'm like, when they don't color the same way. Sorry for the noise in the background. It's just a big thing for me, like the color and the texture. And Kenyofu, Teresa posted that Teresa Plaskett from Facebook said, in my waking life, I'm basic and will wear black with some splash of color. Ain't nothing basic about you, Teresa. Silver jewelry. However, in my dreams, I'm decked out in bright floral prints, lots of white, silk scarves, color pants, and gold jewelry. I charge you to do that in the real. And I find you to be like your makeup, your t-shirt, like I feel like you're a very color oriented person. That's colorful in your presentation, but that's how I view you. I pray that you'll view yourself like that someday. Kaisha, I lost connection, so I'm here live in the house. Thank you. Yes. And Swiss chard. Yes, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea Fisher. All right. So what'd you say, Coach?
The red letters. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're ready for the activity, we're ready to rock with you.
Okay. So before the activity, I just wanted to do the eat with your colors slide real quick. And just kind of give people more ideas. And if you want to have a comprehensive list with pictures of food you can eat to eat your colors, email me and I'll send it to you. But this kind of gives you a little idea, whatever you can see of it. The red benefits your heart, your memory, your function of memory. You lowers your cancer risk and urinary tract health. The yellow foods are healthy immune function, heart health, lower some cancer risks, vision health. The green food, lower cancer risk, also strong bones and teeth, vision health. The blue foods, anti-aging, love it. Don't forget to eat them blueberries and blackberries and black currants and all of that. Memory function and and so forth and so on. Eat your colors. And if you want a comprehensive list on eating your colors and what colors to eat, what categories you can find food in those colors, email me and ask, and I'll be glad to send that. So now bring out your paper, Yes. Bring out your paper and your pen. Bring out your colored markers or whatever you have that you're going to work with for color. And let's go to the next slide, Coach Shawn. Oh, okay. This, I just wanted to show you that in nature, nature uses color and it has an impact on us, right? When you look at those lovely, lovely cherry blossoms against the soft blue sky, I mean, how could a day go wrong? How could you have any problems? They're just so soothing, calming, and beautiful. And to me, when I see that in spring, it just makes me want to just skip like a child. Like, oh, look at all this pink and blue and oh, it just brings out the inner child in me and makes me very, very happy. So I don't know about you, but cherry blossoms and sky does that for me. And I just wanted to share that image. So as you take out your pen and your paper, I want you to draw a circle. Draw a huge circle. And then I want you to draw spokes in that circle, Shani. It would be like the last slide that I have there.
Okay.
With, yeah.
No problem. Hold on one sec.
And I'm going to ask you some questions that I would like you to answer. And if you can't do this exercise right now, because you're driving or something, you're at work, definitely take note of this and do this later for yourself. What I'd like you to do is answer the following questions with this color wheel, right? So you're going to create a circle and you're going to make spokes in it. That's the idea. And we're going to eventually put colors in it. But for starters, you're going to just answer these questions and you can write the answers to the questions on the side and then you're going to fill it in, okay? So first question. And I want you to have a clear mind. I'm going to do a little breathing first. And I want you to clear your mind, empty your mind, a blank page, a blank space, a blank mind. And then I want you to answer these questions with the first answer that comes to mind. Don't judge it. Don't change it, but answer these questions with the first answer that comes to mind. So let's do a little breathing. Let's take 3 deep breaths to clear our insides and our minds. Ready? First breath, take a deep breath in. Let the air fill your belly. Hold it and exhale slowly. And take another one, deep breath in, nice and slow. Hold it. And release it slow. And the last one, deep breath in, nice and slow. Hold it. Exhale, nice and slow. Thank you very much. I don't know about you, but I definitely feel calmer, even though I'm wearing this exciting red. So I'm going to ask you the questions, and Coach Kenyofu will drop them in the chat. What color defines your blues, meaning when you're sad? What color do you see when you're sad? Same question. Right? The first answer that comes up. Second question. What color makes you feel jazzy? Like good, nice, centered, grounded, peaceful. What color makes you feel jazzy? What color rocks your boat or rocks your world? What color rocks your world? What color clears you? Gives you a clean slate and clears away everything. What color clears you? What color makes you feel absolute bliss? Just wonderful bliss. What color do you see when you're angered? What color do you see when you're angered? What color do you see when you want to play? What color do you see and it makes you want to play? Nice. So hopefully you have your colors, and I want you to place them on the wheel. I want you to write the word or color the color. And on the first part of the wheel, on the top half, you're going to put in each spoke the colors for the following answers. What color makes you feel jazzy? What color rocks your boat? What color makes you see and feel bliss? And what color makes you want to play? So you're going to answer those. You're going to take the color answers that you had and you're going to plot them in a chart along the top part. I mean, your chart is fine if it has only 7 spokes or 8 spokes of the wheel. It didn't have to have 50, 11 like this one, but I want you to get an idea of creating your healing wheel of colors. And then answer the color answer in the wheel. You're going to place to what color describes your blues? What color clears you? And what color do you see when you're angered? And that should cover all the colors that you chose. And what you will see is the color that makes you feel blue, there is a counteracting color that will make you feel bliss. Or the color that makes you feel angry, there is a counteracting color that will make you feel jazzy, right? I want you to see and create on your wheel of colors so that you can utilize your colors, because there are some of you said you don't wear color and you're not really in tune with what the colors invoke in you energetically, spiritually, how they support you, how they're impacting you. So get in touch with that through these questions and through creating that wheel. And if it doesn't align perfectly, you can shift it, right? So this first wheel that you're doing now is sort of like a practice wheel. And then when you get knowledge of, okay, this color has this impact, go ahead and change it and make it, when you do the work, you'll say, oh, okay, I don't really feel that way with green. I feel that way more with, I feel am jazzy with gold. So I'm now going to put gold in that column. So that the idea is that you come away knowing how to shift yourself, how to empower yourself, how to use colors to heal yourself. Because colors are being used on you every day. But using colors with intention can be healing, can be fun. So yeah. Anyone want to share what they got from answering those questions, or if they actually created their wheel, and if it aligns with who they are, who they already know, or they're going to try it? Anyone want to share? Come on, colorful community.
I'll share. It's Aaliyah. Thank you again. What I noticed is that my colors for blue and angry were the same. Very interesting. So it's what color makes you sad and what makes you angry. I put cream. Yes, cream. Cream.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so yeah, so that tells you when you think about what green represents, that tells you that there's some soothing in nature that you need. There's some making peace with nature that is necessary. There's some heart energy that needs healing. Okay, so listen to what those are telling you when you look at the chart of what the colors mean. And you can go and look further, look up chakras, CHAKRA energy, and learn more about what those colors work with the chakras. That's the way that energy comes into our bodies. They're also called meridians or wheels of light. That's one of the ways in which it, the energy comes with the color. And
is that for cream? I'm sorry, is that for cream, the color cream, like a beige cream?
CREAM? I thought you said green.
No, cream, like beige and cream are my blues and my anger. So I was like, wow, that's really interesting. That's when I see when I'm sad or when I'm angry, cream. So I guess I can look that up.
Yeah, and actually it's a combination of white and like a brown. It's a white and brown combination. So you can look up those to see what's the source of that as well. That's very powerful. I never would have that color combination or blues.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share?
I'll share. So what I seen for me was that on the chart where it said where I feel sad, it was white for me. And then the opposite was, I don't know why white came to my mind, but that's what came to my mind. And the opposite was purple and blue. And those are actually my favorite colors if I choose a color. So, that was good to see.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So the absence of, remember, white is the absence of all color. Black is the presence of all colors on the spectrum. That's why they're not on the visible light spectrum wavelength that I showed you. They're not really, really colors, but we use them as colors, right? So powerful,
Thank
good.
You.
Work with it. It'll support your healing.
Yeah. I can incorporate those colors.
Thank you. Good. Anyone else want to share? We'll take one more and then I will wrap for the day. Anything, any comments, anything from Facebook, anything anyone saying about what they got from the healing wheel of colors?
There's noise in my background, but there's not a lot of activity. I see yellow, 6 black. Joyce and Kimiko, I think we're adding the colors for them in reference to the questions into the chat. So thank y'all for doing that. Especially if you weren't able to put them on paper, but go back and plot it. As Coach Sheryl suggested, cut and paste these questions and then create it for yourself. It's a really beautiful opportunity to really get to know and connect with yourself. And I would imagine, Coach, if you said this already, I missed it, that if I'm start my day off feeling angry or sad, that I can tap into the colors from the opposite end and wear that for the day. You know, people take pills and that's cool, you know, just different things. But I'm saying that the color that I put on can help me shift the energy.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, because sometimes the energy, you feel it right away, like I do when I put on red. But sometimes you're not really in touch with how you feel, but people will respond to you with that color. And then you'll be, orange goes good with my skin. And I feel good. And you take that in, and then that brings you on. So, it's utilizing the colors to support you in a very healing and empowering way, and to shift you at any time and all times. So I love color. And if you are not able to, okay, I'm not ready to wear all these colors because maybe I'm a police officer and I can only wear this color, or I work for UPS or whatever, and you have to carry crystals, I can help with that. Carry and wear essential oils, I can help with that. There's a lot of ways you can use color. Eat the foods, eat the colors, scarves, little things to highlight. When they wear pocket squares, the men, there's a lot of ways you can pop some color in there. And Rachel, your hand is raised again. Jump on in.
Yeah, because when you had said something about the color that you most reject, previously you said is something that has to do with your past, and you had asked me what my favorite color was, and I couldn't tap in. However, I could tap into one of my favorite outfits that had a lot of yellow in it, and I cannot stand yellow. I feel like it's loud, it's obnoxious. On other people, it's beautiful. On me, I think it's just super extra. It shows my color too much. It's just weird, right? On me. And it brings me back to then the question that you asked, being playful, I went with yellow. And it's maybe because I was deprived of a childhood that yellow is, kind of something that I'm kind of like, I don't want any part of. So I'm going to try my best. Can't make any promises to incorporate some yellow in my life, because that would be the biggest hurdle to cross.
Start with eating yellow foods.
Oh, I eat that. I'm good with yellow. I need to wear it. That's my problem.
Oh, good. That's wonderful. Yes, playing out in the sun is yellow. Yellow is play, yellow is will, yellow is personal will, and utilizing that will. So yeah, you will find empowerment in utilizing yellow, even if it's just a yellow belt on you, just a little bit, yellow shoelaces, something, bring it.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in because Rachel and I are getting to know each other. We already love each other. But I think of your grandbaby. I'm like, yo, I have a grandbaby and a grandson. And just thinking about you putting yellow on that baby and then putting yellow on yourself and walking around the community as grandmother and grandbaby, that would be so beautiful. And she's so gorgeous, just like her grandmother. So I'm like, no color should ever be off limits for someone who is as gorgeous as you, with such a gorgeous baby looking at you and reflecting that energy. Like, yes, yellow power. In the summertime, the spring is coming, the sun is coming out. When I wear yellow outside and the sun is beaming, I feel like I'm a sunbeam. I really do. So I just wanted to offer that up. Do it for her so she can play in all the colors.
Yeah, that would be a reason, right? Definitely a reason. I dress her in all the colors. I just don't dress me in all the colors. But I'm going to work on that.
Yes.
Definitely going to work on that.
Thank you, Coach Shani. That's powerful. And that, looking at the color yourself is maybe a start too. Like, make your background on your desktop or something that you look at often, that color. Start carrying that color, start working with that color from the outside, and then slowly bring it on to you. But definitely don't be afraid of color, any colors. Start small, but embrace color. It's your divine healing birthright to be well, right? And the Creator puts color in everything. So you can't be limited. Don't be limited by one or two colors. You're limiting your healing, you're limiting your birthright, you're limiting your world. And you know, everyone expressed that what the world would be like if there were no colors. Bland, stiff. What did the other person say? Yeah, I don't remember all
Dry, conservative. I can
Rigid.
go with a whole bunch
the. Yes, boring, dead,
Rigid.
rigid. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Adam. Rigid. So trust that you might be living those adjectives by not having color in your world, in your wardrobe, in your palette. You know, bring it in. Bring it in. It's already on the outside. So just bring it all in and be healed. And let's share my last slide, Shawnee. Thank you.
No problem. Hold on, let me make sure. Oh, okay, got it. I was going to say it's not the last slide, but the last slide is a surprise for all of us. Can't wait to share it with the community.
Yes. So yes, this is my message as we close. Embrace your divine birthright of wellness through working the colors of your world. And not just letting colors work you, because trust me, the outside world is using and working you in the colors. As Veronica said, you walked into her tent, her orange tent, and you spent money, honey. Why? Why? Because orange. Yes, I love this. I love the colorfulness that I was inspired to create these slides. I hope everybody enjoyed the slides and the presentation and the energy. And go out and have a powerfully colorful day. Put on some color today. And thank you for joining me, and have a blessed day. So I have this week still going on my workshop. It's a 2-week workshop. Last week was amazing. And this week's is Thursday, May 5th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. And it's $28 for the one day. Spring into a holistic lifestyle with this. I can't talk anymore. I'm so colorfully connected. Spring into a holistic lifestyle with essential oils workshop. And you can register at bit.ly/YBZ Spring Oils 22. Decrease the toxins in your life, create your own healing blends, learn more about essential oils and how you can use those colors in your world for your healing. How you can use those colors in cooking and in cleaning and in blending and making special blends for yourself. So that's what this workshop is all about. And I invite you to come on Thursday. My special offer to you today on that beautiful yellow background is one participant today will receive a complimentary one-on-one consultation. So that will be the first person to email me, and it says Woo Winner in the subject column. Put Woo Winner. My email is yourblisszone@gmail.com. Once you've won, you have 7 days to make the appointment with me and claim your prize. A one-on-one personalized consultation. And once again, my contact information, Your Bliss Zone on Facebook. Follow me at Your Bliss Zone on Instagram. Follow me, and you can email me at yourblisszone@gmail.com. And my link tree that has everything I do and everything I am, my creative, well, most things. You can find my oils, my crystals, some of them, my jewelry, the butters and soaps and scrubs I make on my link tree. And you can also, after today, click a link to make an appointment with me. linktr.ee/SHERYLGLENN, Sheryl Glenn. And thank you. So if the colors rained down on you today and made you feel like you are now activated and ready to try a new color, ready to eat a new color, ready to reflect on and learn from the messages that colors are bringing you, a love offering would be greatly appreciated. It contributes to me, my family, my continuing of my work. And you can do that by sending me my own natural energy yield, as we called it, at Zelle/QuickPay, SOW Leadership Development at gmail.com, or Cash App, $ Spirit of a Woman, code number 578 SLG. She loves God. Code 578 SLG. Thank you. I receive it. I believe you. I send you high vibrational energy, and I'm thankful.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. So family, some of you are coming to the space for the very first time. We acknowledge you, and we'll say more about you later. And we, just want you to come back. And some of you have been in this space week after week, month after month, second year we're in and moving forward towards our third. So just encouraging those who have been in the space to automate your giving. So it's already taken care of. $25 a month, $50 a month, $75, $100, or if there's another amount that you want to share with us, you can definitely reach out and it will be set up for you to do that. Just thinking about like other prescriptions that or not prescriptions, I would say both subscription and prescription. Prescription for your growth and development, and subscription so that you can continue to tap into this powerful community that gives and gives and gives and gives. And I said, by this time, we've offered millions of dollars in services and education, things that people pay top dollar for out in the community. Folks have been transformed as far as their therapeutic walk in life, mind, body, and spirit. Emotionally, and relationships have been transformed. So it's well worth the contribution. So please do consider that. So it's already taken care of and you don't have to think about it. Coming up next, tomorrow we have our beloved Marinés Rodriguez. She is so dope. She's a healer. She plays the chimes, or not the chimes, but the bowls, the singing bowls, and other pieces to call in spirit and to transform us and transport us. And so please join us for Mayflowers, live readings to help you blossom. So she's going to give readings in the space so you can hear about what's in store for you. So come through, because it's always powerful. And then after that, after you get your message for your abundance and your edification, there's a message on Thursday, May 5th, how Web3 can change the wealth narrative for Black and Brown people. So important. My beloved sister and coach Alicia Holmes is leading that conversation. She is just paving a way for those who identify as BIPOC. And she also works with people who identify as white, so that you can have a say about your financial legacy and build a legacy for the future of the loved ones that you will not meet, because you'll be gone, but the foundation that you set is already in play and in place. So Alicia Holmes, Marinés Rodriguez, set your alarms, come through. The Woo Nation welcomes all new members like I shared. Please come back. This is a community where we come to learn, elevate, and ascend. We always ask folks, let me say from the affirmative, come on back in. There's never enough growing and transformation to be had by individuals or collectives, and your contribution to this group allows us all to grow and evolve and ascend together. So please return. And our schedule, if you need to know, is Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 8:30 a.m. Sometimes we go a little bit over, like today. And then our schedule on Monday is 7 to 7:30. Sometimes we go a little over, but it's all well worth it, and it all will nourish you fully and holistically. If you want alerts, please type or send the alert notification to 74121 and type in Woo Nation, and you'll be able to receive automated text so you can be reminded about the experience. So shop Woo swag and get from our store one of these items: a water bottle, a tea or coffee cup, whatever your desires are in that regard. A sleeve for your laptop, for covering t-shirts, sweatshirts, bags to carry your belongings, and a journal or masks so we can stay safe and we can write about what we're up to in the world, and we can draw out our color wheels so we can know what we need as far as the colors to transform our states of being that are low vibrational to high vibrational or amplify the high. Thank you, everyone. You can register for the week. So we're already into this week, but if you haven't registered, you can register for the rest of the sessions, which are Wednesday and Thursday. You can register for next week. We have a great May lineup in store for you. And I think this month, our focus is roots. We always have a theme week. I have to go back and look. So check us out. And then Facebook, join our private and public page. You can screenshot this so you'll know how to get on them. Instagram at Wake Up Everybody. We started activating our presence on Instagram. I'm really happy about that. And on YouTube with old videos, and we'll keep posting them so you can have access, and so do other community members. And if you have something to say or share or suggest, info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. Now we're going to thank our coach, Sheryl. We have 14 people left in the space, technically 10, because there's 2 devices for admin, Kenyo for myself, and then Coach Sheryl. So 10 folk plus the Facebookers. Please do acknowledge our beloved Coach Sheryl like there are 110 people in the space. So come on with it. Y'all know how to do this. Let's big her up.
Thank you, Coach Sheryl. Thank you.
Did a beautiful, beautiful
Thank you,
job.
Coach Sheryl, for this
Thank you so
presentation.
much.
Gina and Naomi and Anna Palmer.
Thank you.
Let's move forward, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Coach Cheryl.
Let's
What
color
a
the world
pleasure. Always
fantastic.
a
Thank you so
pleasure. Thank you.
Color the world fantastic.
Nation, it's all we got, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You are awesome, Coach Sheryl.